Cobi Rietveld is the Afghanistan Country Director for Action Against Hunger. And Cobi, you're joining us from Kabul this hour. Thank you for your time. Can you give us a real-world example of a program that Action Against Hunger has had to shut down in the past year, and then what happened to the people who no longer received the aid that they had received?
Okay, we were getting 30% of our funding came from the US, which stopped in beginning of this year. We are running 7 therapeutic feeding units in the country, and 2 of them were funded by the US. We initially continued with our own funds, but we unfortunately had to stop and close those facilities. In therapeutic feeding units, we are treating severe acute malnutrition for children under 5 with complications. If we don't treat them, they die. We were lucky though, because after a month, with the support of the European Union, we reopened those facilities and we continue to treat those children with malnutrition. Unfortunately, with those fund cuts, we were also planning to do water and sanitation activities, food security and livelihood activities, which are actually there to prevent malnutrition. This one, we did not have funding for. So, for example, we had 15 villages where we were supposed to help set up a water supply network. We had about 80,000 people targeted food security activities, which includes cash support as well as agricultural support. This was not funded. So,
Cobi,
yes,
what is 2026 looking like in terms of funding? Are you going to be able to keep all of that going, or are you going to lose anything next year?
That's a big question. Yeah, at this moment, our therapeutic feeding units are funded until April next year. We are currently writing proposals to try to get funding, and actually every year we are trying to get funding, and it's always a question, will we get enough funding to continue our activities?
Okay. I want to make sure everybody understands, because you mentioned therapeutic therapeutic feeding units. That is when you're treating children under 5 who are critically malnourished. That's what we're talking about here. The most vulnerable people in Afghanistan, on top of children generally, are women and girls, specifically in the case of Afghanistan. Girls are banned from secondary school, as we know, so that means no school meals. Women are barred from most jobs, that means no income. So if on top of that, food aid disappears or is decreased, what happens to them?
There is no food, so there is increased risk of malnutrition for both the mother and the child. So when we talk about children, I talk about both boys and girls, yeah? But the health of a child starts with the mother. So if the mother is malnourished and does not have food, automatically the child is at risk to be malnourished. So practically no income, poverty, no food, no access to healthcare, no safe water. So both mothers and children are at risk.
The world became a less generous place in 2025. That's beyond question. Rich countries giving less money to poor communities around the world. Long term, how do groups like yours adapt to that?
That is a challenge. We try our best to continue advocating for funding. We need funding. We work with local partners together to serve the Afghan community, to both treat malnutrition as well as prevent malnutrition, because we can't treat malnutrition forever, but it is a struggle.
Cobi Rietveld, Afghanistan Country Director for Action Against Hunger. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.